Okay, so in today's lesson, we're going to look at Kinesis. Kinesis is Amazon's native real-time streaming service, and it operates on a serverless architecture. So in today's lesson, what we're going to do is set up a stream via the console, and then we're going to place data onto that stream using the Kinesis Data Generator, which is a application provided by AWS that allows you to put dummy record sets onto a stream. This will be prep for future lessons where we're going to build and design some event-driven architecture, and we'll be using the Kinesis Data Generator for that. So in the console, the first thing we're going to do is navigate to Kinesis. So just type in Kinesis, and you'll arrive in the Kinesis page now. There's three types of Kinesis streams: data streams, Firehose, and analytics. And today we're going to use data streams. So if we go to create data stream, and you need to give your stream a name. So I'm just going to call this test stream 1. So in terms of data capacity, we're going to create one shard. One shard lets us have 1 megabyte per second, up to 1,000 records per second, and emits 2 megabits per second. For the purpose of this demo, we'll need one shard. So we'll just go one shard. We'll create a data stream. As you can see, it can take a few minutes depending on the number of shards. So we'll just pause the video here and we'll pick it up once the stream is created. Okay, that's the stream created. We'll do a wee bit of a look around the console. So you've got your stream details, it's active. You've got your applications, monitoring, which we'll come back to once we actually put data onto the stream. The configuration of the stream itself, such as it's saying we have one shard, and a enhanced fan out, which we'll cover later videos that lets you basically consume more read throughput on the stream itself. The next thing we need to do is go to the Kinesis Data Generator. I'll put a link in the description below to this website. What this is, it's an application developed by AWS that lets you place data, dummy data, onto a stream that you've configured. But you actually have to set this up via CloudFormation. So the first thing you need to do when you go to this page is click Help. Once you've clicked Help, you go down and you say Create a Cognito user with CloudFormation, and it will take you back into your AWS console and to actually CloudFormation with a URL of where the JSON sits to create the Kinesis Data Generator. First thing you need to do is actually select the region that you want to create this in. So my Kinesis stream is in Europe, Ireland, so I'm changing my region to the region of my Kinesis data stream. Just alter it at the top there as I did for the appropriate reason that you're working on. Then we click Next, and it's going to ask us for a username and password. So just enter a username and password that you won't forget into the box. I'm going to call it test user, nothing too fancy, and give it a password. I'm going to click Next. Optional tags as usual, don't need to do that. Permissions, I'm going to give it full permissions so it can create all the resources at once, and click Next. Then we have an overview of what's going on. We're going to acknowledge that, and we're going to hit Create Stack. So that's the stack off and being created. This will take several seconds as per usual. There is a video on CloudFormation on the channel, so feel free to go and have a look at that if you want to know more information on CloudFormation. But for now, I'll just pause the video and pick it up once the stack is created. Okay, that's the generator created. That actually just took about 2 minutes in total. And as you can see, the create is complete. So the next thing we need to do is actually go to outputs along the top, and you'll see a URL. This URL is actually going to allow us to sign in using the user we just created and then create data. So if you click that URL, you come back to the page that looks similar to the one you were on before. You type in the username, which in my case was test-user, and the password that you gave that user. No, I don't want to save that password. Then it's going to ask you a few things. So the region I was in was EUS1. It was the test stream that I wanted to do. We're going to send 100 records per second. I'm going to create my own template here called person. Now, if we go back into the first page I had open, the Kinesis Data Generator is actually using the faker.node.js library. So here it is here, record template. So if we go over to the documentation on their website, rather than reinventing the wheel, what we'll do is we'll take one of their examples. So this, as you can see, is all the different methods that we can possibly have. So as you can see back on this page, we'll take this script for now, and we'll call this person IP address. So this would be like getting a list of people and their IP addresses. We paste that in, and I'll actually put this in the comments section below as well in case it's moved by the time you see this video. You hit test template, and you can see this is what we're going to be sending onto the stream. Close, and we will send that data. And it'll actually say there's 100, 200, and so on. Okay, so once back on the Kinesis stream console, go to monitoring. And what we're actually doing here is putting records. So you might not see anything yet, but if we look at the incoming data, sum and bytes, you can actually see that it's at quite a high metric. Same with here as the sum of bytes, successes, percentage, etc., etc. So if we take one of the put records, something that's going to be easy to see, we'll go put record success, and we'll go to view and metrics. You'll see a couple of things that will need altered. So here we're looking at the average every 5 minutes. Let's look at the average every 1 second. Perfect. And then what we can do is maybe go for, we'll keep it at average. As you can see, there's a line already starting to appear there. So that's the average success count every 1 second. So I'm just going to refresh that. What we'll also do is we'll take it down to the last hour in time, and we'll just keep refreshing. And you can see that that line's now telling us the data is actually hitting our stream. If we go back onto the main console again. Okay, so once done, the next thing we need to do is actually stop sending our data because that's costing us money. So just hit stop, and that's the end of the data being sent onto the stream. So that's really it for today's Kinesis lesson. It's just the beginner introductory lesson. As I said, in future lessons, we're going to do event-driven architecture with real-time data streaming. So this is really to get the fundamentals nailed before we go into more complex architecture. So as usual, all today's lesson material is available on my website, www.johnnychivers.co.uk, and there's plenty more content on this YouTube channel.